Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra has always been a really good phone for me. I got this phone when it was first released, got all the major upgrades and all the security updates, and this phone works flawlessly like when I first bought it. Now, the pricing of these phones may vary depending on your region, but this will be around $600 to less than $1,000 for a refurbished or brand new. You may even see less on a used market that is good used. I bought mine on first day, I think around $1,500, so it's a really good bargain today if you will buy a 2-year-old Samsung Ultra that performs similar to any other flagship phones on the same price category. The performance is top-notch. It's using an old but not outdated Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It is a 4nm processor that is really power efficient. Comparing this phone with the newer Galaxy S25 Ultra or even last year's S24 Ultra, honestly, I can't feel any difference in terms of day-to-day performance, watching content, playing games, and even editing some videos. I can throw the hardest task on this phone and that base 8 gigs of RAM can accommodate it. I have the 256 gigs of storage and 12 gigs of RAM, so mine is a little bit more powerful than the base model. I can play ultra graphics and ultra settings on Mobile Legends. On PUBG, I think you can play on the highest frame rates, and even I don't play Genshin Impact, I tested it on this phone and it works just fine. Also, this phone will reach 4 major OS upgrade. I remember this phone started on Android 13 on One UI 6.1.1. So this phone will get Android 17. I mean, for the price you pay, you'd probably get more updates on this phone compared to those mid-range devices outside Samsung, Google, and Apple. One thing I cannot move on from this phone is the boxy shape, a typical Samsung Ultra that we learned to love. I think this phone started with the Note series and then eventually moved on to be renamed as Ultras. The front glass is also top-notch, a 6.8-inch curved glass with dynamic AMOLED 2X that picks almost 1800 nits. The only problem with this phone is the screen protector because I love to use tempered glass, and this uses a special silicone gel just because of the edge screen. Also, I think one of the things that people will love about this phone is the camera performance. By the way, I'm still doing a lot of camera comparison videos of Galaxy S23 Ultra in our channel, so make sure to subscribe to this channel because you'll be seeing more comparisons of this phone in the succeeding months and years. It has a whopping 200 megapixel main sensor with 1/3 inch sensor size. It is the same sensor size that's being used on Galaxy S25 Ultra. So there's no change on the hardware. I think the only difference here is the software manipulation and the color science of the camera app. It is also followed by a 12 megapixel ultra wide and both 10 megapixels from 3x to 10x optical zoom. Colors are vibrant on the images. I think the photos are brighter compared to the toned down look of Galaxy S25 Ultra. I know a lot of people are complaining about how muted and dull looking the colors on S25 Ultra. So if you're not giving up on that kind of look that is vivid and brighter, then stick or consider Galaxy S23 Ultra. Video recordings are awesome too. It can shoot 1080p, 4K, and 8K. Selfie can shoot 4K 30 FPS and 60 FPS. The only downside is the slow motion, which you can only record up to full HD, but it's not a deal breaker if you're just doing vlogging without slow motion. I think one of the stronger areas of this phone is the battery life. It has a 5000 mAh battery, and with that 4nm processor, this can go a long way on your everyday activity. I've been using this phone for over 2 years now and I haven't seen any issues with the battery life. I can go a full day of use on this phone using it for calls, texts, and gaming. So imagine if you're a non-gamer who just used this phone for content consumption, it's an easy 2 days of use. The best extra on this phone is the S Pen. If you love to doodle using it for note-taking, it still has Bluetooth connectivity from the S Pen to the smartphone, so you can use this as a camera shutter, which Galaxy S25 Ultra doesn't have. Also, buying this phone for around $600 to $800 or even less than $1,000, you have 5G connectivity, and I know in some regions you have dual SIM capability. It has USB-C type charging port that all of us use, and also it has 45 watts of wired charging and 15 watts of reverse wireless charging, which is pretty dope. I think all in all, with everything it offers, from the great camera performance with the speed and efficiency of Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and that big 6.8-inch screen with S Pen functionality, not to mention a few generations of remaining upgrade, in mid-2025, Galaxy S23 Ultra is the perfect choice.